Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Promotions, live from Los Angeles, it's time for the main event of the evening.
I have to let Jimmy do his thing. You know, gotta let Jimmy do his thing. Hell of an intro. Thank you for that. Welcome to the Portaway Podcast. Let me turn my headphones down just a little. Showtime Shawn P here. I have a new guest today.
Yes, sir.
Brendan Taylor.
Yes, sir.
With True School Sports.
True School Sports.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All the way from
Miami, Florida, South Florida.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Great to be here.
What you doing here, man?
I'm in Vegas right now, just going to the gym, checking out the boxing scene. I'm actually supposed to be going to Japan on the 25th. I was supposed to go for Inoue Fulton. That obviously got postponed, but I couldn't rebook my flight, so I'm going to go there anyway.
You ain't got to explain.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Real quick, because we gotta get to our guests and then let him get up out of here.
Yes, sir.
And we'll try to pace this show as best we can, but I'm late. I'm 30 minutes late. Vegas traffic, it is what it is. I'm not gonna get into all that. I don't have to explain myself.
There you go.
That's compliments of Ant Bernal. He always would tell me, you don't have to explain yourself. Ant with two T's is not in the building today. But listen, real quick, everyone can see your stuff on YouTube, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you only on YouTube?
I mean, most of my stuff's on YouTube. I'm on Instagram as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a kid from Dania. I'll get it to you guys after.
Shout out your Instagram.
Just a kid from Dania. That's just a kid and then Dania. Like
Dania.
yeah.
Dania.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'm from in South Florida.
Just a kid from Dania.
That's it, man.
All right.
Making it happen.
We got another kid.
Yes, sir.
A young champion. I'm excited for you, man. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't think anyone expected this. You know? I don't even remember what I even said when I previewed the fight, but at this point, you were just looked at as another name.
Yeah, just food.
And that name that I'm talking about is the new 154-pound super welterweight interim WBC champion, Brian Mendoza.
La Bala.
La blah blah. Yeah. La blah. How do you feel, boss?
I feel like a world champion, man. I feel like I'm top of the world right now. It's insane. It's a surreal feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, most people didn't believe it. I won't say nobody because I had a small circle of my people close to me that did believe in me, and I did this for them. You know, they believed in me, and I had to prove them right more than anybody else.
When you say you feel like a champion, what does that feel?
It's a crazy feeling. It's still sinking in, but it's just knowing, all the suffering and sacrifices that you go through in camps and just training, just the life of a boxer, of a fighter. Just being able to make it through all those struggles and everything and come back, it's had some setbacks and everything, but just to know, it was all worth it. I ran into Fernando Vargas, Sr. in the gym actually during this training camp, and I told him I was fighting and everything. He's like, hey man, like, just, keep dedicating your all to this, because when they raise your hand and they wrap that belt around, like that feeling is like no other. And he was right. I can't describe it. It's an insane feeling when it makes everything worth it in that moment.
I won the WBC, a very surreal moment. In the moment, I remember feeling like I had the same feeling as when my firstborn was being born, like in the moment of seeing him, seeing his face and the cry and all that kind of stuff. Exact same when I won the WBC title. So I can only imagine, but I get a closer glimpse of it than most people. But I always like to ask a fighter, what do they feel like after winning the championship title? Because it's something that you always kind of think about and imagine, and then you see your trail and how to get there. And then in your case, 2 losses, and you're at the bottom of cards, and you have no clue when that moment is gonna come, and then it comes just on the other night. And I know we'll get into that just a little bit, but talk to me real quick about the preparation to camp. Now let my man jump in, but you're going up against 6'1", Sebastian Fundora.
6'6".
Yeah.
Lord.
He's like a small forward, man.
Why am I tripping?
6'6".
Golly, you're going up against 6'6". I must be getting his height mixed up with somebody else on the card, one of the cards. We had a lot of boxing on Saturday.
I don't blame you.
And I'm gonna talk to you about that in just a minute. But how was the preparation going up against a 6'6" guy? And have you ever fought against 6'6"?
I was obviously not a 6'6", you know, but we had been in there with tall guys, and it's one of those things when you feel like the universe is aligning. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that's a big hot spot for UFC fighters, for MMA fighters in general, but tons of UFC fighters like John Jones still trains out there and everything. And even as an amateur, I used to help Tim Means. He's a vet in the UFC. He's a 6'2"-ish, I think, southpaw that fights inside with, you know, rangy and everything.
Yeah.
So I felt like the universe has been preparing me for this since the amateurs. I used to help him for those 5-minute rounds and stuff. And then just over the years, but the preparation for this camp, even as soon as they mentioned it was a possibility, I went over to Top Rank and I got some work with some cruiserweights. And I was pushing them back.
Because of the height, right?
I need the height, yeah. I couldn't get a skinny dude at that weight, at first. It was like, I need the height, I need the look. I'm trying to get as similar as I can.
Yeah.
And then later in camp, so for the whole month, the fight was April 8th, but the whole month of March, I actually brought in Mike Fox.
Yeah.
And
That's
he's a
good,
6'4" welterweight southpaw. And he has a lot of the, you know, similar punch selection and stuff. But the thing with him was that I'm not a believer in bringing punching bags to beat up on. I want difficult training. I want hard training because my confidence comes from preparation.
Yeah.
I want to know I suffered in camp. I really had to sacrifice and everything. And we brought in Mike Fox, and that was some hard sparring because he's a 6'4" southpaw that knows how to use his range. So he wasn't exactly like as come forward as Fundora, but I kept telling myself all through camp, like, I'm landing certain shots I want to land. I just have to have faith, you know, like these are the shots I want to land. That's what I'm working on. And I started landing them a little more and more throughout camp with Mike. And I was like, if I can catch him with it, these are going to be bombs on fight night.
Brian, you know, I've had a kind of like a unique vantage point with your career because, you know, I've come in and out of Vegas over the last couple of years, and you went on a swing bout. Like, so not so long ago, you were on a swing bout. They put you on after the main event where almost nobody sees you. So how do you stay positive when you're at that point in your career? Because as you know, being in boxing, this sport can make you very cynical about, you know, the fortunes of your career. So how do you stay positive?
It's just faith. Just tons of faith in, you know, in myself and my team and everything. And I've always known, you know, the talent was there. I've always had this image of Brian, you know, in my head that what I could be, you know, what I could do. And then just finally, you know, building the right team around me. You know, I got Ismail Salas that he guides me, like, obviously throughout my education and boxing and stuff. And I added strength and conditioning coach Tony Brady. I've been with him like nonstop I'd say for like maybe 2 years now, since the Barrios Thurman fight, because I was Barrios' sparring partner for the Thurman fight. And ever since then, me and him got to work basically nonstop. He even moved out here to Vegas now. And that's giving me the gas tank to execute my boxing knowledge, you know, so they went hand in hand. And it was just crazy, you know, but it's faith more than anything. And then Shawn knows you got to be a little crazy to believe that out of the whole world, you know, you can really pull this one thing off.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a mix of faith, just craziness, you know, just
and the perfect punch against a 6'6" southpaw even is an overhand right. And that's the punch that you ultimately ended up landing, which kind of set everything up.
Right.
And a hell of a follow through with the I think it was a right hand and left hook that
it was left hook first. Left hook first.
Oh, it was the left hook.
Yeah.
But with this height, it was basically a left overhand.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, give me thank you. I
got
some of that. Yeah, give me some of that. Yeah. But the, you know, again, probably the perfect punch to throw, and you landed it in like perfectly.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that punch, that moment.
Like I said before the fight, that people are going to find out I'm not just a strong fighter. You can look at that fight, and even just in that little highlight clip, you can see like 3 different things I set up to get that shot. And everybody knows what shot hurts you is the one you don't see. There's even pictures of me when I let the hook go. He's so tall and at an angle, it was like behind his shoulder almost.
Wow.
As it's lifting. So he didn't see that shot till it was right next to his chin, basically. So that's already too late.
Yeah.
And that was it. You know, it was the
Seeing it in
setup.
my head now, it was a hook. Yeah, I was sitting in my head. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you see like that was the same thing. He didn't see it till too late anyway. It's like, it's just the angle of the punch, the setup, the force behind it, the repetition. We trained that punch over and over and over. And it finally came out in the right timing.
One more for me. Did you know after when that punch landed, did you know it was a wrap?
No, because we weren't looking for for one shot. So my mentality in this fight, go ahead and give away early rounds. Not really necessarily give away, but my plan was to chop the tree.
Yeah.
We're chopping the tree. I'm not worried about a one shot, just swing away. And so even when I knocked him out, I put heat on that shot. Salas literally told me, all right, we're going into the second half. And then he told me, start putting a little more heat on these shots. And literally that round is when it happened.
Yeah.
But it was never one shot. So even when I landed that shirt, I put some heat on it. That was a real shot, but it was like you even saw I backed out after, and then I saw he kind of froze halfway, and that's when that killer instinct took over.
Boom, boom.
I had to jump on
I was
it.
like, wow, like that was just the follow-up was amazing. One more, then I got you. Because I know you had to have seen him. You saw him sit up. Like, when you saw him sit up, you felt like he was going to get up, right?
Yeah. You could see the heart, you know, like even when Lubin caught him and I heard him with several shots and he took that knee, you know, he came back and you saw he came back in the fight. So I was like, in my head, I always picture the best possible form that they could come in, the opponent. Absolutely. I'm expecting the hardest puncher, the fastest guys, the smart. I'm expecting that way when you get in there, it can only be easier than what I've expected in my head. You know, I'm expecting like Mike Tyson in there every time. Yeah. And so, but you could see his heart said, get up. That's why he leaned up right away. Like the Undertaker, like he leaned up. I was like, no, this dude's getting up. Yeah. But the body wasn't responding. You know, the heart can say one thing, but the body just wasn't there. And that's what you saw, that there's no way his legs could carry that.
In those earlier rounds, you were like really slick. I've seen you spar a couple of times. I don't remember you being that slick. Is that something that you kind of improved on recently?
Oh, big time. Yeah. Since I came out here, you know, I'm surrounded by so many Cubans and everything. Like it starts to take effect on you. But my thing over these last few years, like in previous fights, I would try to be too slick. And that's not who I am either. It's all about finding who you are, finding the right balance. And then you saw in this fight, like I was slick, but it was using a lot of movement and I wasn't trying to be like running in circles the whole night. So then we had to like fine tune it a little. You saw the rounds where I went from slick to staying there too much. And then I felt like finally like the end of the sixth maybe and starting the seventh, even though it was only 30 seconds in, but I feel like I lock into my rhythm. And you saw that against the fight before that against Rosario. Yep. I had a little flow going right before I knocked him out. It takes me like, you know, I warm up, there's those feel out rounds and then there's that moment where I really click and it's my true rhythm, but it's my rhythm. I'm not a Cuban with 400 amateur fights. I'm not just a tank that comes forward, tries to roll people over. There's like almost like a slick tank, you know, if you want to call it that, but I got to be me. And that's what took me a little while to really learn.
Listen, last thing for you, sometimes something hits me, like when I'm watching fights or I'm listening to music, whatever the case may be, something will hit me and I'm like, motivation for the week. When you knocked him out and then you did your post-fight interview, like right there in the ring, and then it hit me. Purpose, purpose drives energy. And because I heard you say, you know, nobody would ever thought that someone who would be fighting swing bouts at the end of the night where there's nobody in the stadium would end up right here, right now. And as you were saying, once you said that, that's when that came to me. It's a purpose drives energy, you know, and I want you to kind of just talk about how you had the energy to be in that moment, even though you had 2 losses and people tell you you lose one time and you'll never make it. You're at the end of the night when everybody's leaving and I know you're like, wait, please stay and watch me. How do you have what the purpose and your energy to come to the ring and do what you did on fight night? What was your purpose that drove your energy?
My purpose, it's the main purpose. My why was to do it for my family, the people that believed in me. Like I said, it was a small circle of people that believed, and this was for them. You know, I said there was a lot of haters, a lot of doubters and this and that, but this isn't for them. I don't need to give them my energy. Like there's people that love me. Like why would I not? You know, I dedicate everything for them. When I'm in camp and I want to quit the workout or the training or the whatever, I think of my family. So it's for them, you know, and it's just that faith. It's like I have a dream and I see it in my head. I don't care what it takes. So like I don't go out, you know, I don't party. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to sacrifice my whole life. I want to experience this dream. What so many few, you know, they get to hold, you know, like this green and gold belt. Like I want to experience things like that, you know, like, and I even kept listening to Caleb Plant's speech, you know, about setting out to live an unbelievable life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you know, they go day to day, like they just go through the motions, but I don't want to do that. Ever since I was little, I told my mom, like, we're going to be rich, you know, we're going to make it, we're going to live life, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was talking about. I was playing with little toy trucks, Tonka trucks. Like,
Yeah.
It was always in my head. Something was always in my head. And when I found boxing, I found that avenue. So I would like, and now you know, I've even kind of made like my own Rocky story. Like I had those comebacks, and like you said, boxing is unforgiving.
Yeah.
They say, oh, you took a loss. Oh, you took 2 losses. Oh, like get out of here.
Yeah.
But I just never quit. I said literally always, like, even after the losses, a week later, I'm back in the gym. I'm grinding. How can I fix this? How can I? Don't let a setback tell you it's over. Nobody can tell you it's over. And now I'm living proof for that, because I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be here 5 steps ago, and I just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I even kept telling my team, I was like, yo, is this real life? Like this really happened. I'm actually here, because I'm not trying to play it cool, man. Like I wasn't supposed to be here, and we're really here. So I'm soaking it all in.
Know how that feels. I'm going to put a cap on the motivation. I'm going to let you go ahead with your last one, but that's my motivation for today. You have a lot of people who don't have they feel like they don't have a reason to get up, or they're just going through the motions of life. I got nothing else. I'm just going to work, and then I'm going to go home from work, and they live a sad, uncomfortable, depressing life. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm simply saying, find your purpose, find your why, keep your eyes on your why, and you'll always have energy to do what it is you need to do. But go ahead.
Hey.
I remember after you beat Jason Rosario, I saw this clip and you were like begging for a fight. You're like, please give me a fight, please. I don't know if you remember doing that interview,
Yeah.
whoever you did it with. But would you say you're a desperate fighter? Because now you got the WBC interim title. Is your desperation as a fighter making you more dangerous? You feel that?
My desperation to be great is what makes me dangerous. I'm never satisfied. Like even after I feel this unbelievable feeling, you know, I got the title, I'm already like, okay, what's next? It's like, you know, like an adrenaline junkie. It's like a greatness junkie. Like Shawn knows, you know, like you go through it, you hit like what might be your pinnacle, but then it's like, I want more.
There's something else.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
I thought this was supposed to feel like the end of it, and it's
exactly.
not. Yeah.
And you're looking at somebody that's not complacent. I don't care that. I kept telling people too, because a big thing is when people get into a title fight, you see a lot of people happy to be there. Like, oh, I made it this far. Yay. I was never happy to make it this far. The dream was to get the title, not to fight for the title. I was never, you know, caught up in the moment like, wow, look at this, you know, my name's on. No, I need the victory is what the dream was, not just making it this far. I have goals I need to accomplish and stuff like that. That's what makes me dangerous, is my hunger day in, day out. Like I found my why. I found what I'm willing to die for. So what I'm willing to live for is just this constant struggle and this sacrifice and suffering, because the suffering is what made me who I am today, like in training camps and life and, you know, whatever, and just making it through that.
You make it sound, you know, fighter was miserable.
I mean, a good 80-20, you know, like, you know how those training camps are. And then I don't take time off. Like if anything, I'll drive out to LA for the weekend and just go touch the beach, come back home. But I'm a real gym rat.
Yeah.
So you know how that is.
That's
it's
true.
Just, it's that part.
Yeah.
I call Brian the hardest working fighter at the Salas gym, because every time I go there, he's there. He's never not there.
Yeah.
I'm the annoying guy that you walk in, oh, there's Brian, he's still here. Like I'm that annoying guy, but I enjoy it. You know, that part's not where the bad side is, because I enjoy my work.
Yeah.
You know, I got to remember who gets to go to work here. This is my office, man. Like I got to be grateful. So I don't want to be like, too dark on it. Like, oh, suffering. But so
hey, listen, I retired
enjoyment.
I retired at 34, man. I was miserable for 30 years. Congratulations, big dog.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, man. And in your presence, man, with you guys, it's an honor, man. Thank you.
Next time we have you come through, watch you some fights over the week, because we had a lot of fights this week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Been watch you some fights, and you come in here and hang out with us and chop it up.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. I would love that.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Brian.
Can't wait to see what's next.
Yes, sir. Big things, man. Big things coming.